Hello everyone, welcome back to Somerset Place. We're continuing our discussion of the Mack and Penelope Treadwell home by looking at the enslaved families and individuals who lived in the two upstairs rooms. 9 people occupied the room to the top left, including 31-year-old Eliza Johnson and her 5 children, Venus, age 13, Margaret, age 12, Boston, age 7, Johnson, age 4, and Mila, who is an infant. Although their father was not recorded, Eliza's name was listed in the Lake Chapel Register when she was baptized and confirmed around the time of the 1843 inventory. Also occupying the same room were Dave Phelps, Nancy Phelps, and Leah. 26-year-old Dave and 19-year-old Nancy may have been siblings, while Leah, who was a toddler, appears to be unrelated. Unfortunately, her family was not recorded on any of the known slave lists. 2 years later, Dave married widow Dinah Baum, and they started a family of their own. Tragically, though, each of their 3 children passed away at or before the age of 2, and the heartbreak of losing young children was all too familiar to the enslaved families at Somerset Place. Between 1839 and 1862, the Chapel Register recorded the deaths of 144 children under 9 years old. Child mortality may have impacted one of the families who lived in the other upstairs room, that of 48-year-old Solomon, his wife Violet Nouble, who was 10 years his junior, and their teenage son Andrew. They had another son named James, who last appeared in the 1839 inventory 4 years earlier. As we mentioned in our previous video, Violet's sister Mary Nouble lived downstairs. Solomon was a shoemaker listed as, quote, lame in 1840, and his death was recorded in the Chapel Register 15 years later. Another married couple, Alan and Mary Newburn, occupied the same room. Her family came from Newburn, North Carolina, hence her recorded surname. It does not appear the couple had any children at the time, but Mary was listed as being, quote, infirm in hips in 1840, while her husband was recorded as, quote, feeble. 3 other unrelated people lived in the same room with them: Charles, Tildy, and Sampson. Unfortunately, Tildy's identity has not been established, although she may be Matilda, a 32-year-old granddaughter of Sukey Davis, who was listed on previous inventories. We do know that Sampson, who was 18, suffered from a hernia, and tragically, Sampson, along with Alan and Mary Newburn, were sent to Alabama later that year. Another enslaved person named Robert accompanied Alan and Mary on this journey, so he may have been their son, possibly born after the 1843 inventory was compiled. That means that almost a quarter of the enslaved persons occupying this home were forced to leave it for Alabama, roughly the same percentage as the third and final 2-story dwelling next door. In our upcoming videos, we'll take a look at the families who lived there, so to receive notifications about when they're posted, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Until then, thanks for joining us.